Welcome to the Built to Scale series Outside Marketing, bringing you quick, actionable episodes to help move your business forward. Here's your host, Craig Severinson.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Outside Marketing. This is the show where we answer the question, how do you build a thriving business without sacrificing your personal life? And today we're talking about the power of a visibility acceleration system. I'm super excited about it. And if you like this content, if you like hearing what I've got to say, you're going to love the Built to Scale podcast. So head over to Built to Scale HQ, and that's where you can get all the information on the podcast, on my program, all that stuff. Awesome. So today, before we dive into the visibility acceleration system, something just happened that I wanted to use that as an example, right? So I'm here exercising and going through my workout, thinking about what we're going to talk about today. And there's a little like caterpillar on the ground, right? And at first I was just ignoring it. I was like, well, whatever. It's in the middle of the pavilion, the middle of the concrete. And then it started going the other way. And I realized, oh man, this little caterpillar thing looks like it's drying out. It's dying. It needs to get off the concrete. And I ignored it. But then the third time I looked at it, I felt a little bit of sympathy for it. And I decided, hey, I'm going to pick it up and just toss it into the grass. What's that cost me, right? I'm just going to pick it up and toss it. So I pick it up and I look over at the grass and I toss it. And I miscalculated and I threw it right into a sign, and like a wooden sign mounted against the pavilion. So I ended up just whacking it against the sign. I'm laughing at it, but I also feel kind of bad because I was like, oh shoot, did I kill it? Is it alive? I was trying to help it and I end up just hurting it, So I went over, I picked it up and I moved it to the grass. I think it's okay. I'm not a caterpillar doctor, so I don't know. But this is the point, right? If you're going to do something, do it all the way, do it right? Don't do things halfway or you end up making a mess like I did with this guy. And I think that this is particularly poignant given our topic of a visibility acceleration system. Now, so I think about business in terms of system, and there's 6 systems that you need if you want a scalable business, and visibility is the first one. It's number 1. And if you think about it this way, why is this important? Why is visibility so important? It's because if you're not expanding your audience, your marketing loses traction, right? Like you need to acquire new people coming into your world, finding out about you, hearing your thoughts, hearing your offers, hearing the things that you're talking about. Otherwise, things get stagnant and you don't grow, right? In fact, I'd say the majority of people who are frustrated with their marketing, it's actually not a marketing problem. It is that they are not getting more visible. Tim, good to see you. Thanks for commenting. Hey, how you doing? So you need to have a way to get visible over and over again, right? Like to make sure that you're doing it consistently. And I say consistently, and consistency is the name of the game. So yesterday, I had a client call with my masterminds who were in there and we were talking about visibility. I said, hey, let's do like a 30-day challenge because the more visible you get, the more success you'll have. In fact, if I think about the most successful times in my business, have always been the times when I've been most consistent with my content, most consistent in getting visible. So I said, hey guys, let's brainstorm ideas that you can get visible over the next 30 days. And they thought of things that I didn't even think of. They thought about, hey, you could get on your social media and you could go and interact with other people's stuff for like 20 or 30 minutes a day. Yeah, that's a way to get visible. Go and interact with people. They said, hey, I could go to networking events or conferences on a regular basis and meet people in person. Yeah, that's a way to get visible. They said that you could you could do the DMing stuff. You could go speaking. You could do podcasts. You could go be on other people's podcasts. You could do live videos like this. Like being visible takes a lot of different shapes. The key is, are you getting in front of new audiences? And again, are you doing it consistently? So I like to think in terms of systems. So me personally, how do I run this? How do I do this? My visibility strategy consists of 3 things right now. So number 1, my podcast, right? So every week I record an episode of that podcast so that when season 2 drops, I do it in seasons. So season 1 is done. Season 2 is coming up. When that drops, it'll come out every single week. So every week I've got a standing appointment to record a new episode with my producer and with our guest, and then get that in the can, right? Every week I have time slated on my calendar to go look for speaking opportunities. So I've had the opportunity to speak on a lot of big stages. I'm a guest in a lot of webinars at a lot of telesummits. That doesn't just happen. Sure, some people invite me, but what really is going on is every Monday, I'm sitting down and I'm researching who's hosting these things, who's doing these things. And I make connections and I talk to them. And I ask if they're looking for speakers. And that's how I get this book, right? So it's a system that I work every single week. Every Monday, there's an hour where I work on that. And then the third thing is these live videos that I'm doing every morning. That's the third thing right now. And I've already talked about this in the other episodes, but the way that I've really made this work for me is I took two goals I had, working out and doing a daily show, and I combined them, and I am using them to hold me accountable to both of them. And I've got to tell you, twice this week, I've woken up and said, I don't want to go. This is dumb. I don't want to do it. It was pouring rain. Was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday it was pouring rain. I was like, I don't want to go do this. But I was accountable to the show. I was accountable to the exercise. I said, if I don't show up, there's at least two people that are going to call me out on it. So I got to go do this. And so again, I've developed a system, developed habits to help me continue to be visible. And that's what I would love to see you do too. If you are getting stagnant in your content, if you're getting stagnant in your sales, it's time to get more visible. You got to keep growing that audience. And the more you can make it into some sort of system, some sort of process where it's like repeatable, it's easy for you, the better it's going to be. Another bit of advice that's just coming into my head, and maybe you guys have heard this before, is I first heard it from Gary Vaynerchuk, but now I've heard it from several other people. I think it came from Gary first. I don't know, but it's the idea of document, don't create, right? So this I like to use my own stuff as examples, right? So what's going on right now? How did I come up with the idea for this content? Well, as I was working out today, I said, well, what have I done this week? What did I do yesterday? What am I doing today? And I was like, we've been talking a lot about visibility lately. Maybe that's the topic, right? So I'm just documenting the journey that I'm on, not trying to create a bunch of content. And that gives me the opportunity to just come and have great content that's valuable, but it doesn't take me a ton of time and a lot of like planning to have to come up with that. Awesome. So that's it. I'm wrapping up here. I've got one little teaser for you. On Monday, I've got a big announcement that is really exciting that I mentioned this a couple episodes ago, that I've taken on an opportunity here that corresponds or correlates really well with what we're doing here on the show. And I'm excited to document that journey along the way. So stay tuned. That's your teaser to tune in on Monday. I'm doing these at 8:30 Central Time every weekday. Until next time, take some fast, focused, imperfect action. I believe in you. I got your back. We'll talk soon. See you guys later.
Thanks for joining us. To check out all the Built to Scale episodes and to see how Craig can help you in your business, go to builttoscalehq.com.